Shalom. Thanks for joining us virtually this week. We begin our service in our Shabbat of mindfulness book in the middle of page 1. In this moment, there is plenty of time. In this moment, you are precisely as you should be. In this moment, there is infinite possibility. We continue in the middle of page 2. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. On this Shabbat, may we share our light, our wisdom, and our joy with the world.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
At this point in our service, we think of the week that has passed, and we hold on to all of the good things from this past week. So if you had an experience that inspired gratitude, if you have some good news to share, no matter how big or how small, I invite you to share that now in the comments section. We thank God for all of these blessings in our life, including the blessing of life itself, the words of Shehechianu near the top of page 3.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'echianu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'echianu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman hazeh.
We continue at the bottom of page 3, meeting this moment. May I meet this moment fully. May I meet it as a friend. May I feel contented and safe. May I feel protected and pleased. May my physical body support me with strength. May my life unfold smoothly with ease. We continue with Lecha Rodi on page 5 to meet the Shabbat presence.
Lecha Dodi, Mikra Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nikavela. Lecha Dodi, Mikra Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nikavela. Lecha Dodi, Mikra Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nikavela. Lecha Dodi, Mikra Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nikavela.
to be in, to welcome in the presence of Shabbat.
Boivet shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'sot ola, doch emunei am selula, boi chala, la 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 Adoni, likrat likrat gala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat likrat gala, Adoni, likrat likrat gala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat likrat gala.
We continue on our supplementary sheet with readings 1 and 2. We go to sanctuaries to remember the things we hold most dear, the things we cherish and love. And then, the great challenge, we return home seeking to enact this wisdom as best we can in our daily lives. Offering sanctuary is a revolutionary act. It expresses love when others offer scorn or hate. It recognizes humanity when others deny and seek to debase it. Sanctuary says we rather than I. It is belonging, the building block of community. We continue with our official call to worship, the Baruch Hu, the bottom of page 6. We continue on the top of page 7 with Ma'ariv Arabim. An old Hasidic rabbi once asked his disciples how they could tell when the night had ended and day begun, for daybreak is the time for certain holy prayers. Is it when you can see an animal in the distance and tell whether it is a sheep or a dog? Asked one student. No, answered the rabbi. Is it when you can clearly see the lines on your own palm? Asked another. Is it when you can look at a tree in the distance and tell if it is a fig or pear tree? Guessed a third student. No, answered the rabbi each time. Then what is it? The students inquired. It is when you can look on the face of any man or woman or person and see that they are your sister or brother or sibling. Until then, it is still night. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv arabim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening twilight. We continue in the middle of page 8 with oneness. The more we understand the one idea, how all of life is interconnected and interdependent, the more we can act in positive ways for the good of all. And we continue celebrating that oneness with the Shema in the middle of page 8.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Page 9. Ve'ahavta בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ובשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם ואהבת רעך כמוך. You shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. We now see that the only way that we could love ourselves is by loving others, and the only way that we could truly love others is to love ourselves. The difference between self-love and love of others is very small once we really understand. We continue in the middle of page 10 with On My Way. I'm on my way to something people know by many different names: redemption, liberation, freedom, enlightenment, nirvana. I don't know which word you use, but I'm on my way, and something tells me that you would make a great companion for this journey. Will you walk with me for at least part of the way? Continue with Micha Mocha. We continue on our supplementary sheet with readings 3 and 4. Most people have forgotten nowadays what a home can mean, though some of us have come to realize it as never before. It is a kingdom of its own in the midst of the world, a stronghold amid life's storms and stresses, a refuge, even a sanctuary. This is what the Sabbath should feel like, a pause. Not just a minor pause, but a major pause. Not just lowering the volume, but a muting. As the famous Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel put it, the Sabbath is a sanctuary in time. And we celebrate that sanctuary of time with Vishamru in the middle of page 11.
Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריטותם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריטותם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריטותם.
May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, and a medicine for all who are sick. For as long as heaven and earth can endure, may I use my energy to assist all living beings. We continue with our central prayer, the Amidah, in the middle of page 12. We continue with a quiet moment for personal prayer or reflection. Page 14.
Shalom Yisrael Amcha, Nasim Le'olam.
our service, we think of loved ones who are in need of healing. Tonight we think especially of Beth Levine, Rabbi Jerry Levy, and Jean Sanders. If there are other loved ones whose healing we wish to pray for tonight, I invite you to type their name in the comments section, parentheses, healing. With the power of community, we pray for their refuah shlema, the complete healing of body and or spirit. The words of Mishaberach at the bottom of page 16. During my first year of rabbinical school, I learned a melody for the most famous line in this week's Torah portion. Ve'asu li mikdash ve'shochanti b'tocham, where God says, "Let them build for me a sanctuary so that I may dwell among them." This portion begins with instructions for Moses to collect donations from each person with a willing heart. No one is forced to give. The Mishkan, or portable temple, was made entirely of donations from people who heard the list of supplies needed and thought, hey, I want to be part of this project and help to create something beautiful in my community. As we read through the list of supplies needed, it is easy to see how this portion would be relevant to a synagogue undergoing renovations today. Much of the portion is about gathering the types of fabric and other materials that an interior designer could put together into a lovely home. Over the past year or so, Orami has been updating our building with new paint, new carpets, and even a new HVAC unit. But when I read this week's Torah portion, the Orami project that really came to mind was not the new paint and carpets in our literal sanctuary, but rather the metaphorical sanctuary we have been helping to create for the Amarkel family. A few months ago, we heard that we had the chance to sponsor a refugee family from Afghanistan. We didn't know how many people would be in this family or what their names would be. We didn't even know exactly when they would arrive to Richmond. But as soon as the message got out, we quickly saw that many members of Orami had the willing heart described in this week's Torah portion and a strong desire to be a part of this project. We began collecting money to help cover this family's first month's rent. Then we started collecting furniture and household items to fill a home for this wonderful family here in Richmond. There were many ups and downs along the way. For months, we struggled to find housing that could accommodate this family of 9 with 6 adults and 3 little ones. But last week, we were finally able to move them into a safe home thanks to the dedication and hard work of many volunteers. Like the project described in this week's Torah portion, our current mitzvah project is not a quick one-and-done endeavor. It is ongoing. Creating a home or sanctuary for this refugee family is not like hosting someone for just a few hours or days. It is about creating a welcoming space for them to dwell here over the long term. So whether or not you have already donated time, money, or energy to helping a refugee family, I encourage you to think about helping to create a sanctuary or safe and welcoming space for this family for years to come. That could be as direct and concrete as donating a lawnmower this spring, or as indirect but equally helpful in the sort of attitude we bring to our wider community. Not everyone in Richmond is familiar with Afghan culture. We might want to learn more about Afghan history, food, and customs so that we can help others in our social circle to be more knowledgeable and welcoming to people from Afghanistan. We could also help to build the confidence, skills, and social connections of our refugee family by helping them practice their English. While the men in this family already speak some English, the women will need more help learning the local language. An organization called Reestablish Richmond will train volunteers to teach the women English using workbooks, conversation, and social outings. A few Oromians are already helping with this part of our project, but we could always use more volunteers to help with this mitzvah. May we all find meaningful ways to contribute to our community and help to create our own version of the beautiful sanctuary described in this week's Torah portion, and let us say, Amen.
Amen.
So we continue our service on page 18 with Aleinu.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lateit gdula le'aseh reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo asamanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol amonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
At this point in our service, we think of loved ones who have passed away recently or at this time in years past. Tonight we remember with love the yahrzeits of Della Falk, grandmother of Lori Coulter, Jonathan Wade Friedman, father of Leo Friedman, Sunny Halperin, aunt of Sue Shires, Marguerite Hirsch, longtime member of ORME, Harold Horowitz, father of Rita Payton, Barbara Klushin, sister-in-law of Sheila Preville, Anna Kramer, grandmother of Terry Crosby, Estelle Mintz, aunt of Amy Miller, and Cheryl Tandler, longtime member of ORME. If there are other loved ones you wish to remember tonight, I invite you to type their name in the comments section. Parentheses, Kaddish. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be a blessing. We continue as a community of support with the Mourner's Kaddish on page 19. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh be'amlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'b'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olomei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, Tush b'chata v'nechamata, dal miran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort for all who are bereaved, and let us say, Amen. Amen. We conclude our service tonight with Lo Yisagoy near the top of page 20. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.